Chair recognizes the gentleman from Ohio, Mr. Jordan, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Garcia, Director, said that there was no way you could plan for this, and what was shown to us in the video. Why wasn't there? Why couldn't you plan for this?
The challenge this year has been that we've had a 6-month CR. As you know, on March 27th, our funding is going to run out. I trust that the Congress of the United
No, I'm talking about sequester. When did sequester become law?
The sequester took effect on March 1st.
No, but when was it passed?
Oh, the sequester's been around for quite some time, obviously.
August 2nd, 2011, 20 months ago. So the statement that you couldn't plan for it, I mean, it seems to me you got 20 months to plan for it.
Well,
when did your agency start planning for sequester?
Obviously, I think we, like most people, hope that sequester would not become reality.
You can't plan on hopes. You got to decide. The law said August 2nd. It said on January 1st, 2013, the sequester is going to happen. You got a 2-month reprieve on that. It took place March 1st. When did you start planning for what was everyone knew the law said, or is it the practice at ICE not to plan and make decisions based on the law of the land to say, oh, we hope it's not going to happen? When did you start planning?
On the contrary, we are doing what the law requires in a very uncertain environment.
No, that's not the question. When did the folks at ICE, when did you start planning for a law that was enacted on August of 2011? Did you start August 3rd, 2011? Did you start sometime in 2012? Did you start March 2nd, 2013? When did you start?
With regard to, remember, most of these releases were due to the CR. With regard to sequestration, we began to plan in earnest at the beginning of this year.
So you waited until January of 2013?
We waited until January 2013.
When did you make the decision to release the 2,228 detainees? When was that decision made?
Well, the discussions on that have been ongoing since the beginning of this year. The actual
more importantly,
decisions were
well,
made
let me cut it here. I only got 5 minutes. When did you decide that you were going to release the 629 who were criminals? When was that?
Instructions went out on February 9th.
February 9th. And is that the same time you made the decision to release the 10 level 1 felons?
The 8 level 1 felons.
Or 8 level 1 felons?
Yes, were part of that overall decision.
And do you think maybe if you would have started planning sometime before this year, you had 20 months to get ready for it, you think maybe we wouldn't have to release 2,228 detainees, 629 who were criminals, 8 who were level 1 felons?
No.
I mean, do you think, but don't you think that's maybe a question the American people would ask? Maybe if you started planning for this when it actually became the law, maybe we wouldn't have to let 10 felons or 8 felons on the street.
Congress asked us to maintain an average of 34,000 beds over the period of the CR without sequestration, and we did exactly that.
But you keep saying CR, but in your testimony you said both CR and sequestration had an impact on this decision.
That's right. The sequestration resulted in a reduction of $300 million to ICE's budget.
And that's my point. You knew that was going to happen on August 2nd, 2011. If you maybe planned for it, maybe you wouldn't have to release 8 level 1 felons on the street.
I don't think that...
Because you just said a few minutes ago that you didn't start planning for this until a few months ago.
I disagree with your characterization that everyone
Didn't you just say January of this year is when you started planning for the sequester?
I disagree with your characterization that back in 2011, everyone felt that sequestration was going to happen.
I'm not asking how you felt. I'm asking what was the law of the land, and is it the practice for the director of ICE to say, you know what, we're not going to pay attention to what the law of the land says. We're going to wait because we think it might not happen. We're going to wait and not start to implement this, not start to plan for this until January of 2013, some 18 months later.
We have to make good judgments and balance many uncertainties, one of which was sequester, another was the CR, and another remains.
Who makes the final decision? Who made this decision to let the 8 felons back on the street? Is that your decision, or is that someone else in the department who makes that decision?
No, these were made, the actual decisions on each case were made in the field.
In the field, what's that mean?
That means by our local field officers.
Do you have to sign off on that?
I do not.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.